up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different. This is actually going to be both a reaction and analysis video, a reaction to Chrissie. What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different. This is actually going to be both a reaction and analysis video, a reaction to Chrissie. I don't know if you're familiar with her on YouTube, but she's one of my favorite YouTubers. Chrissie, she just released a video called Nature Boy Exposes Real Reason Black Men Feel Emasculated and Beg Black Women for Submission.
Nowhere near. I want this shit to be over with. I want to rule the earth. I want to walk around and be the man. I want to dominate everything. I want my woman to look at me like a king and submit to me and respect me highly. But I don't never want to be dominated by no woman. And they give y'all power so that y'all don't feel like y'all need us. So we feel emasculated and I feel hurt inside because I can't be a man. That's why.
So you guys just heard what Nature Boy said in that clip.
I'm so happy that this is the rhetoric that is finally surfacing, because this has been going on for so long in the Black community. And Paris Milan, another YouTuber that I love a lot, shout out to Paris and Chrissie and Chloe too. I appreciate all the Black women on YouTube who are spreading such a positive message, even though they're not positive situations. It's still a positive message, because at the end of the day, the message is for us to do better. And just because we're calling people out on their bullshit does not mean that we're being negative. In order for us to do better, we have to acknowledge what we're doing wrong. And if it's negative, it's negative, but for the sake of being positive in the end, because all this toxicity, that's negative. This toxic energy, that's negative. All the bullshit Black women have to deal with and rise up against and fight against, that's negative. The fact that we have to fight is negative. That's the actual negative, not us talking about it. Us talking about it is not negative. The situation itself is negative. Anyways, so the conversation that is being had right now is about why Black men feel emasculated. And this relates a lot back to what Paris Milan was talking about, in my opinion, which is how Black mothers do baby their boys, and how Black mothers also expect complete independence and damn near hate their daughters. Even though they don't hate their daughters, their daughters are still their children, but there is a marked difference between how boys are raised and girls are raised in the Black community. And realizing and understanding that Black people are, the way that our families have been structured, some has to do with historical, back in the old days, where there were such things as Black matriarchs. In many cultures and societies have matriarchal societies. We're just not constantly aware of them. And because patriarchy is, the most common family structure in the West, and the most praised in the West, because that's all we know, and because white patriarchy is all we know, Black matriarchy is that almost polar opposite. And so we learn this in African American studies, but we learn about how the Black matriarch and how the family structure of the Black family structure is supposed to be the complete opposite. So when raising Black children, Chrissie and Paris have been talking about this, how Black boys grow up to be Black boys and Black women grow up to be Black women. And that's how it's been in society for a long time. where black women, the black matriarch, the independent, strong black woman who can do everything from the big age of 5. That's why we can't get along. And from hearing the rhetoric of the conversations that I've personally had with black men, in addition to conversations I've had with black women, the two different mindsets are so different, and are rooted in such pain and generational trauma that it's hard to acknowledge and unpack because it's so normalized in the community. Realize that the strong black woman, the black matriarch, the single black mom is all the same person. Recently I was having a conversation with my mother about how the way she's raising her sons now, she's giving these sons away to a black woman if they so choose to marry black women or women in general. That's how the way they treat you is how they're going to treat their wives. So if they expect you to do everything for them, that's what they're going to expect from their wife. And if you don't expect anything from them in return, that you don't just, how am I trying to say this? Well, as a mom, you do things unconditionally, but when you're also raising people, raising adults, you have to raise them at a certain point with the intent of sending them out into the world. Black mothers never want to let go of their beautiful black sons, their beautiful black princes. I have a client, and she was telling me how her and her sisters were the paupers and her brothers were the princes. And that's how it is in the black community. When you're treating your daughters like trash and you're treating your sons like gold, and you're handing your sons to insecure women who feel like trash and have been accustomed to being treated like trash, not only by society but within the household, yes, then you're going to have 10,000 women who are willing to suck one man's dick. Of course. One nigga's dick. Of course. Because that's how we were raised. We were raised to settle. We were raised to agree. We were raised to be convenient, to be around, to just be there, to be silent, to be seen but not heard at any cost. And even from my own personal experiences and my own family structure, I have 20 plus siblings from 10 plus baby mamas. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. But I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. And with the language to put the words to it, yes. And from being a black woman and understanding how I was raised and seeing the black women in my life and how they were raised and seeing the current conditions that we all seem to happen to end up in, yes. That's why we all really need therapy, friends, brothers and sisters, because with therapy you could acknowledge how toxic you are. We all could acknowledge how toxic we are and how these dynamics don't work because of the toxicity that is ingrained in us generationally. And that's on period. And that's all I had to say about that. Toodaloo. Until the next one.